This is the rear wheel of a Joolz Day, and we're going to show you in this video how to disassemble the rear wheel so that you can replace the ball bearings or the axle if necessary. Most likely will be the ball bearings if you're having any trouble with this wheel. And you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers, a smaller flathead screwdriver, and then in case you have a little bit of trouble getting the various parts away from each other, it's also a good idea to have a hammer, a regular pair of pliers, and a can of WD-40. The first step of the process is to flip your wheel over to the front, and there is a cap here over the button on the axle that you're going to need to remove. So look for one of these axes between the circular holes. Come up, wedge your flathead screwdriver in at the side, give it a little hit. It'll either pop off or you'll have to pry it. It has 3 teeth, and the reason I said to go in from the axe is that all of these teeth point straight into the circles, so then you know you're not going to hit any of those teeth and break them off. Then what we're going to do is flip it upside down, and here on the axle is a lock washer. You'll need your pair of needle nose pliers, put the points in the holes, and then pull out on the lock washer so that it comes out of that trench in the axle, and then you can begin to push the axle down and through. Get to a certain point where those locking balls hit the sides of the locking washer, and then you're going to want to press this button on the back side of the axle as you finish the process. There we go, remove the lock washer. Now, technically you can just pull this axle through, but a lot of times it gets a bit hard at one point, and this is where it's a good idea to use a bit of WD-40, and you can use your hammer a bit to work that axle all the way through those ball bearings. Go. The front ball bearing came with it. You can of course pry that off if that needs to be swapped out. Otherwise, if the ball bearings stay within the rim, you just take your flathead screwdriver and pop it up like this, and you can put a new one in. In order to then reassemble the wheel, you're just going to reverse the process. Push that ball bearing in. That's the only reason I have to use a hammer here is because the outside of this axle is obviously chewed up a bit, and so it doesn't fit within the circumference of that inner ring of the ball bearing. That can be fixed, of course, with a little bit of sanding, but I'm not going to do that right now. Before replacing the cap on the other side, you are going to want to put that lock washer back in place. Pull it down, and you're going to want to keep pushing it down until you find that slot in the axle so that it pops back into place, into position. There you go. Flipped over to the other side. And it's just a matter of lining up those teeth with the holes. So that is how you disassemble and reassemble the rear wheel of a Joolz Day so that you can replace the axle or the ball bearings. We hope this video was useful to you, and if it was, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us continue making videos in the future. Thank you.